So it's been a couple days since Gillette put out their The Best Men Can Be video, and it's safe to say the response has been pretty mixed. Like, really mixed. Lots of people have weighed in on this now. Philip DeFranco, Joe Rogan, literally everybody else. Seriously, there are people on my Facebook I didn't even know I had on Facebook sharing this video. And now, as you can see, your boy's about to get in on this. By the way, I was 1 hour into recording this video before I realized that I wasn't even recording. 1 like equals 1 sad. So this video has been on trending basically since it was uploaded. It was number 2 on trending last night. It's still number 2 today. And it's called We Believe the Best Men Can Be. Gillette, short film. I'm gonna call it an advertisement and not a short film in this video because, come on, it's marketing. What I want the takeaway from this video to be is there are valid arguments on both sides. There are reasons people don't like the ad, and there are obviously reasons people do like the ad. It's pretty hard to argue against an advertisement that basically says, be better. I think we should probably start with my initial reaction to this video. I did make a comment. Full transparency, this is what it said. Stop using virtue signaling to sell products. What can I say? I'm not a big fan of multi-million-dollar companies giving me moral lessons, especially not a company like Procter & Gamble who've done some pretty shady stuff. Palm oil. Global brands profiting from child and forced labor. Unilever, Nestle, Procter & Gamble among 9 household names contributing to labor abuse. That doesn't sound very good.
Kami paksa biar kami penuhi target yang diberikan perusahaan. Kadang kami bawa istri kami dan anak-anak kami yang berumur 8 tahun, 10 tahun, dan 12 tahun.
I would also like to point out that Procter & Gamble is not a cruelty-free company, as they do choose to sell their products in China, where animal testing is required. I also read a pretty interesting article from someone named Elise Ryan. She said, there are, of course, women who believe there's nothing wrong with the enormous profits which Gillette and its parent company Procter & Gamble make each year. But for the rest of us, a corporation such as Gillette rejecting sexism should be seen as, at best, a mild sign that being outrageously sexist is now bad for business. It certainly does not deserve our applause, and it indeed will be wise for us to view such campaigns with some caution. I don't disagree with the overall message of the ad, which is, be a better man or whatever, but I'm always skeptical of companies using some sort of moral lesson to sell a product. The crazy thing is my knee-jerk reaction comment to this video got 12,000 likes. So I just want to say that I don't necessarily agree with everyone who is liking this comment. There are a lot of really nasty people rejecting this ad. For example, nah, you guys are just bigots that think it's okay to hate men, or you're a man that hates himself. Poor little women need men to come save them, all while complaining about men. Brilliant. I went from a guy who would put myself in harm's way to being a guy who would watch you get beat up in an alley while making popcorn? Congratulations, buddy. This ad was made for people like you. Anytime you have controversy, you have some of the most disgusting people on the planet rearing their ugly heads. I got a death threat because of this comment. This was on an episode of Make Me Suffer, and it says, the face only a hammer could love, repeatedly until all bone is turned to mush. Death will come to you soon, cunt. All right then, cool. I'm glad we could talk about this like adults. All right, guys, so now what we're gonna do is break down this ad a little bit, and I just wanna explain the reason that people don't like the ad. And of course, it's pretty easy to tell why people do like the ad because, sexism is a problem in our society, and it would be nice if there was less of it. Duh.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual
Toxic
harassment.
masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Toxic masculinity. It's a very scary sounding thing, isn't it? A lot of people don't understand what toxic masculinity even is. A lot of guys think that toxic masculinity means all masculinity is toxic. It just means there are parts of masculinity that are toxic. For example, these guys bullying this kid because they think he's a sissy. Now, although bullying itself is not really a gendered issue, men calling other men sissies because they're not man enough is pretty toxic.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
The whole zooming in on the TV and then showing the kids on the couch, I think is just supposed to say our young people are heavily influenced by the media. Then they cut to some sort of like live film set where everybody is laughing at a guy groping a woman, and obviously it's not okay to grope a woman, and I think they're just saying that the media, kind of normalizes it or something.
What I actually think she's trying to say.
So this part right here is about something people like to call mansplaining, and the definition of mansplaining is the explanation of something by a man, typically to a woman, in a manner regarded as condescending or patronizing. Obviously, if you're treating a woman negatively because she's a woman, it's already sexist, but people love buzzwords.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
So this is a clip of a couple of boys roughhousing, and there's a bunch of men saying boys will be boys. And a lot of people have a problem with this because they don't see anything problematic with the behavior of the kids. And they don't really say, you know, it doesn't show in the ad how serious this fight is. Are they play fighting, or is this kid, you know, bullying this other kid? We don't really know. It looks like they're having a good time, but I guess they're not supposed to be. When I think of boys will be boys, I think, you know, boys will go out, get dirty, they'll roughhouse a little bit, generally innocent behavior. Anything beyond that, you can't excuse it by saying boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault.
I think one of the main reasons this video is so divisive is because generally right now, America is a really divided place. It's like purely right-wing versus left-wing, and if a left-wing person says something, the right-wing person has to disagree with it, and vice versa, no matter what. And then what they did is they showed this lady, Anna Kasparian, who is a left-wing political commentator. If you combine that with the other, you know, feminist talking points in this video, it definitely rubs right-wing people the wrong way, and they feel like, you know, it's an attack on their team. It's kind of hard to argue that this video wasn't made by liberals. It's clearly a left-leaning video, and that in itself is enough to cause controversy.
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
This is probably my favorite part of the video because taken by itself, it's got a really positive message. You know, it's not that they don't like men, it's that they believe in the best in men, and then it cuts to Terry Crews, and who doesn't like Terry Crews? Terry Crews is awesome. He's a great human, and he was sexually assaulted by a guy at a party, someone in the industry, of course, and he made a big fuss about it because he should, because nobody deserves to be sexually assaulted. And it's kind of both a Me Too issue and a men's rights issue at the same time. So I think it's kind of something we can all agree on. I don't know, nobody's got a problem with Terry Crews, right?
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Bro, not cool, not cool.
So this is the part of the video where things get kind of messy, so brace yourselves. You got two dudes at a pool party. One guy is filming these two girls, and the other guy is saying, smile, sweetie. He's being condescending to her, and then a guy comes over and says, you know, don't do that. Then in the next clip, there's a lady walking down the road. She's wearing a tank top and short shorts, and this guy is all like, oh my God, a lady! His friend comes over and tells him that it's not cool, and honestly, both of those clips are not cool. You shouldn't be putting cameras in anyone's face when they don't want it. Being condescending to people isn't nice, and you probably shouldn't follow anyone on the street just because you think they're attractive. That's creepy as hell. So just as a side note here, I just realized that's not his friend. That's just a random guy who happened to be walking out of the store at that point. It's a really weird, non-realistic situation. What blows my mind is the batshit insane response by some YouTubers to this part of the video.
Are they still bringing up catcalling like it's legitimately a thing? Like it's an actual problem? I have a feeling that if you polled women, by the way, look, catcalling, a little archaic, probably not going to pick up a girl that way, but I'd also be willing to bet that it's not universally hated, getting compliments. I don't know. I've never been catcalled. I've never actually even seen it happen.
Well, maybe you should shut your stupid mouth about it if you have literally no experience with it. My wife has been catcalled a lot. Funny thing is, she dyed her hair blonde and the catcalling went way up. Like every day she'd walk to the bus and someone would drive by and just shout at her. I've even been there when it's happened. It's not cool. It's not a nice thing to do. Sure, you shouldn't do it. I mean, this whole ad obviously is just saying, be a good person. I don't really need an ad to tell me that, but there's nothing wrong with saying that catcalling is bad. Yeah, I'm willing to bet there are people out there who enjoy being catcalled, but I can guarantee you it's not a majority. I think it's just amazing that this guy makes a video critical of the Gillette ad, then turns around and says he knows what's best for women. He's willing to bet women like it. I'm sure there are tons of men out there who think they know what's best for women and somehow think that catcalling is a good thing, but this next clip is way worse.
If some dude walked up to me and touched me on my abdomen like that, I'm gonna show him some real toxic masculinity as he bleeds face down on the goddamn pavement.
Whoa, watch out guys, we got a badass over here.
Holy shit. Why would you want to be friends with a cock blocker? What, that girl's walking around looking like that. She obviously wants some kind of attention. If she doesn't want your attention, it's because she thinks she's too hot for you. But again, if a 6-foot dude in a Ferrari tells her to jump in, I'm gonna bet she jumps in and then jumps on his dick.
Wow. Just wow. I don't know what else I can even say here, guys. I mean, there's no excusing what that guy just said. He sounds like the world's biggest incel. Dude, have you ever been late in your life? Do you know how dating works? You don't just roll up in a Ferrari and coitus. It's not how it works. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop there because this guy had to weigh in on a father giving his daughter a pep talk.
I am strong.
That is not the case, little girl. If you grow up thinking you're strong physically and you try to fight a dude, he's gonna kick your ass. This enabling, this absolute refusal to accept the biological differences between the sexes is gonna end up with a lot of thoughts with broken jaws.
What in the absolute fuck was that? It's a father giving his daughter some confidence. It's an amazing video. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And somehow you think that he's telling his daughter, grow up and beat up men. Is there something wrong with your brain? I'm sorry, but this guy pisses me off in a way a Gillette ad never could.
In ways big
Yo, men, we're acting like we gonna shake
and small.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
So that's obviously where the video ends right there. Just wanted to show you all that at once, get it out of the way. The second half of the video is men setting a good example. You got a guy mediating an argument and telling them to make up, and then they do. You got a father giving his daughter a pep talk, which is in no way a bad thing. Then you got a guy pulling this kid off the ground. As I said, I don't really know how serious the fight is. If you assume it's a serious fight, yeah, you should probably not let kids beat up other kids. Then the last part is a father helping a kid who's being bullied. The end. I'm not sure how many people actually checked out the link in the description to see what Gillette is doing as part of their campaign. Here's part of it right here. As part of the Best Men Can Be campaign, Gillette is committing to donate $1 million per year for the next 3 years to nonprofit organizations executing programs in the United States designed to inspire, educate, and help men of all ages achieve their personal best and become role models for the next generation. I'm not really sure why best is in quotation marks, but you know, not a bad thing. There's not really anything to criticize when it comes to them supporting charity. They chose Boys and Girls Clubs of America as the first one, and that is gonna help boys a lot because of the fact that, you know, Boys and Girls Clubs is a club for boys and girls. You learn how to interact with girls in the appropriate way. Not a bad choice. Holy shit, I didn't realize Gillette's actually a multi-billion-dollar corporation, $17.1 billion value. Wow. Kind of makes $1 million a year not seem like very much, if you know what I mean. Didn't Logan Paul pledge to donate $1 million? If he can do that, I think you can do a little bit better. But at the end of the day, I feel like this is more about brand image than actually making a difference, so that's basically it for me, guys. There's a lot more I could say about this ad, both good and bad, but I think this video was dragged on long enough. I just wanted to show you that there are valid reasons to like this video and valid reasons to dislike this video. It's okay if you disagree with anything I said, because that's why we have civil discussions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.